Yo, what is goody party people? It is your boy Kalitri back with another video on the Kalitri channel. As y'all know, if this is your first video, my name is Kalitri. I am the leader of the Dream Chaser Mafia. That's what I call y'all. That's what we are, because we are a group of people dedicated to achieving our dreams no matter the cost. If this is your first video, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if this is not, welcome back. Today, I have a good one for y'all. We're here to drop some intricate knowledge inside of your dome piece. Without further ado, let's get into it. When I was a junior in high school, granted, I'm about to be 21 now, so the truth I'm about to reveal to y'all has been a long-standing one. There was this moment where I got fed up with my life in senior year. I felt like I had been beaten down, broken. I feel like life hadn't given me what I deserved. I feel like there were moments where I just couldn't get up, honestly. I'd gotten my heart broken. Everyone around me was telling me that I needed to go to college and that there was this pressure on me to get my life together, because everybody, every day when I went to school, someone would ask me, hey, do you have your life figured out? Hey, do you know what you're gonna do? Hey, what's your plan, bro? And it was a little rough. On top of all of that, I was failing AP stats at the time. So yeah, it was definitely a rough time for me. I really felt down on my luck and as if life had robbed me of something that honestly I deserved, or at least I felt like I deserved. You know, that natural joy of to wake up every day and like want to pursue something. But as I started to do some digging, there was this quote that I found. It was, the past has already happened and the future hasn't happened yet. All you have is the now. That was the part that really got me, was all you have is the now. Truly, the moment you are currently experiencing right now is the only moment you'll ever get. All of your past moments you've already experienced, and you never know what could happen in the future. So after hearing that quote, I ruminated on it a little bit, and I decided to forgive myself for the past. Just understand the fact that everything I'd already gone through and already done, it couldn't be changed at this point. So there was no reason to blame myself, judge, or critique when I couldn't change it in the first place. Which leads me into what I want today's video to be about. Your life sucks because you refuse to take ownership of everything in your life. That includes the good and the bad. This one is for the people who feel like they can't catch a break, they're down on their luck, or for whatever reason, they just fell off of that high of life they were riding on. I want to tell you what you want to hear, that it wasn't your fault, but truly, this is gonna be a rough one. I know it's hard to hear that after you've been through what you've been through in your life, for someone to come along and say, oh yeah, by the way, you chose that, like you deserve that, all of your choices led that. But if you promise to stick with me, I'll try and make it as simple as possible and try not to make it too bashy, but also try and open your mind a little bit about how life actually works. The most common theme I see when I talk to people who feel this way is that they feel as if they have a lack of control in their life, but also as if there's no hope, which is honestly a dangerous cyclical way to live, just because if you have no hope to change your life, that makes it rough. But then if you also feel like you can't change your life, you know, it's kind of back and forth. It's almost like an echo chamber of like, you can't do it, and then it echoes back, well, you could never do it in the first place because you can't control it. So it's pretty rough, and it can stem from a myriad of things. Now, barring some genuine physical or mental disability, everything can be traced back to choices you made in the past, or even a specific choice. For example, if you're overweight, poor diet and exercise choices. If you're in debt, poor financial choices or lack of financial literacy. I think you see where this is going. You only have yourself to blame for these. They say hindsight is 20/20, so at least now you have the experience of living through these bad days, so at least you can look back and be like, okay, this is where I went wrong. But with that comes the wisdom to move forward, so that way you can be like, okay, I've been in this situation before, here's how we move forward. The first step to getting back on track and changing your life is to sit down and take full ownership of your life. Meaning you have to sit down and walk through all of the terrible, no good things that have happened in your life, go back and retrace them, find the choices that led you to that desired outcome, then pretty much just reverse engineer what that means. And it really is as simple as just walking back and be like, oh, yep, I'm out of shape because I could have joined the gym, but I didn't, or I didn't really look into what exactly a good diet is, and so I kind of just coasted through life, and now here I am. None of this will ever be easy, especially when this is maybe the first time you've looked back at your life and decided, yeah, everything that's happened to me, everything is just a myriad of choices that I chose that led to this. I do think it's important that as you walk back through these choices, you have to remember not to judge yourself. Realistically and honestly, you probably did the best you could with the information you had, which is again why we say hindsight is 20/20. So try not to bash yourself or judge yourself too much, because two things. First, at the end of the day, you did survive. Like, it's not like you died, you just didn't do well, or you didn't get the desired outcome, or now you're living in a state of life that you created for yourself but maybe didn't realize. Two, you can change it. Again, you have the experience of living through it to be like, okay, I never want to go back to this. we can move forward. That's something we can work with. They say half the battle is just identifying your enemy. And in this case, by taking ownership of everything in your life, good or bad, you can at least identify where things went well, where they went wrong, and at least see the field from a bird's eye view. You're no longer living in it, you're looking down at it. After you've taken a mental inventory, I recommend actually getting out a piece of paper or a journal and cataloging all of the decisions, both good and bad, and see if you can trace back to where either the first choice or maybe the series of choices that led you to where you are now. This isn't just going to be all retroactively looking back at the past. The other important part of this is looking forward to the future and making plans to change your life, meaning you can never go back to that. You should always try to be improving, to make plans to be, okay, here's what I want to change. Let's get to changing. Figure out your flaws, see them, forgive yourself, and then you can start the path to truly actualizing and changing your life for the better. At least that way you can give yourself a sense of security and control and hope, knowing that, okay, these are the plans I made. I know exactly what I don't want. Let's at least try and make a plan to get away from that and turn it into something I do want. So no matter, even if you fail, come up short, and even if it takes longer than you expected, you can go to sleep every night knowing that you're making the choices to make this dream come true. By just taking ownership of your life, that leads to true freedom, because it really does start in the mind. It allows you to say, okay, I can see things clearly now. It takes the pressure off. You can move forward and look around to see what exactly you're trying to do. And now, instead of being on the defense, you're now on the offense. You're no longer coasting through your choices. You're deliberately interrogating and making better choices. The number one antidote to hopelessness is competence and understanding. So once you learn how the game works, then you can start playing to win. I'd like to give y'all an interesting perspective. Rats. Some scientists were trying to test the desire of rats using an experiment. So I'll try and keep it as brief and try and leave out the sciencey terms so that we can get to the meat of this. Pretty much, they took these rats and tied their tail to, it didn't hurt them, but they tied their tail to a spring, and it allowed them to measure how much effort they were exerting to pull themselves. So first, in this tube, they would put cheese on the other end, and then they would waft in the smell so that way the rats could run after it, and then they would chase it, and they recorded the results. Then they took the cheese out and then wafted in the scent of a cat behind them, and then the rats pulled, can you guess, even harder. Starving rats, by the way, meaning they were willing to run, they were willing to put more effort to escape a predator than they were to chase the goals they were looking for, in this case, the cheese. And finally, they wafted in the cheese from one end and the cat from behind, and guess what happened? These were the highest numbers they had seen, meaning this was the most amount of force these rats were using to pull and try and exert some effort for it. So what can we take from this experiment? It's really good to have something to run towards or run away from. But in order to get the maximum results, you need to have both. You need to have something you're running away from, in this case, your past life. That's why I say doing this catalog of the choices you make allows you to look and be like, I no longer want this life. But also, being able to have something to look forward to always gives you that sense of, in this case, chasing the cheese, because then you're like, okay, we're running from a life I don't have and running towards the life I do want. That's the best place to be in. So we're no longer gonna leave y'all with nothing. We now have a call to action. First, start by taking full inventory and control of your life. Go through and take out a piece of paper, write down all of the things you don't like in your life, backtrack to see if you can find the choices that led you there. Then this will establish the cat, in this case, what we're running toward. Next, start writing down some plans and some goals of what you actually want to achieve, and make some plans to make better choices to get there slowly and incrementally. In this case, this is the cheese. Now, I hate to say it, that was the easy part. Here comes the hard part, running. Both running from the life you don't want and running towards the life you do want. That's the hardest part, because you're always just going to be running. And it's always going to have to be this mental reminder of you're running away from what you don't want and you're running towards what you do want. And when it doesn't come in sufficient time or you feel like giving up, you have to remember, if you quit, you lost. You go back to the life you said you weren't going to go to, and for lack of a less visceral term, the cat's gonna tear you to shreds. It's gonna eat you. So here's the assignment. Write down at least one problem in your life or something you're unhappy with and do the process. Meaning, go back and find the choices that led you to where you are and then make a plan to do it. Something you can do every day. I'll probably have a book video coming up, all the books that I've read. But for this case, if you want some help with this, look up the book, The Slight Edge, I think by Jeff Olson. That shows that just doing the incremental things, and the main premise of the book is that you have to do the easy things. Success is habitual, but all that means is that they're easy to do, but easy to not do. Meaning, it should be easy to chase your life, but it's also easy to not chase it. The best example they use in the book, actually, you know what, we'll save that for another video. This won't be easy. Notice how I didn't say it wouldn't work. I just said it wouldn't be easy. It requires a lot of effort, mental awareness, and being able to truly be self-aware, look at yourself, and then figure out what's going on. But all you really need is to start, and then momentum will carry you. So that's all for me from this video. I thoroughly hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know if you like this video. Write down something in the comments if you think there's something you would like to see more of. I don't know what's next, honestly. I'll probably have to go back, see what's next, what else I've talked about. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all. Oop, remember, you are what you eat, so digest something good. I'll see y'all later. Peace.